Welcome to the About Sex podcast. I'm Josh, and with me today, as usual, is Angela Skirtu, our resident sex therapist. Hi.
Hi.
How are you, Angela?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm okay.
He's still post-surgery.
Oh, yeah. Definitely post-surgery. Now I'm in physical therapy.
Yeah,
That's
physical
fun.
therapy sucks.
Yeah, they beat the crap out of you and tell you you'll feel better. Yeah, pretty much. And with us today is a guest called Jennifer Kasper with Sacred Movement.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello,
And it
good
says
to
here
have you.
you
Thanks for having
do
me.
a variety of feminine movement classes to mindfully move your body and deeply connect you with your intuition. It's more than a fitness center.
Yes, definitely.
It's a community of women that move, play, laugh, cry, grow, and heal together.
Absolutely.
How do they move?
How do they move? Well, we actually offer several different types of movement. Everything that we offer is what we consider feminine movement. But we offer yoga,
that's
but a
fun.
more feminine version of it, like
Right.
vinyasa, where you move with the breath.
Okay.
We offer Koya, which is kind of a really sassy and fun combination of yoga and free dance and some sensual movement, which means like movements of the hips and
It's more sassy. You got to snap a finger and
Yeah.
go, oh, no, you didn't.
could. You
Yeah.
could totally snap a finger
It's
if
about
you
getting
wanted
those
to.
curves into it, though, so you
Yeah.
feel pretty.
Yeah, and it's also kind of got like a community aspect where we, kind of connect with each other and, share our intention for class, etc.
Yeah.
And then I teach American tribal style belly dance.
Tribal
And-
style. So what's
yes.
American tribal
Yeah, which,
style?
by the way, later we're going to do a few moves,
Oh,
so
yeah.
stay tuned.
Stay tuned because everybody loves on an audio podcast to hear about how somebody's dancing.
Well,
It'll
you'll
be
get
great.
to see it on the live
But
stream.
if you go on the live stream on YouTube, you'll be able to check it out.
So continue. What were you saying?
So American tribal style is a little bit different than most of the belly dance that you've probably seen. The stuff that we see in movies and in restaurants is what we call cabaret style, either American cabaret or, Egyptian cabaret.
Right.
So tribal obviously kind of lends itself to, this is a group dance. It's done in a group only. There's no soloists. And it's all improvised. So
Oh, so you just show up and start doing whatever you want.
not really whatever you want, but
Right.
you learn the steps, kind of like learning a vocabulary. It's like
I
learning
see.
a new language,
learn a
basically.
language,
You
yeah.
learn the language, then you string the movements together.
And
you
isn't
start
there
to make
usually like a
sentences.
leader, too? Like a leader, and then everybody follows along with them, but then they learn with cues or something?
Yes, there's one
Okay.
person that leads, and then the rest of the group follows. But then the leader's changing all the time.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be just one person.
Right. Everybody gets to trade out. Everybody gets to lead. Everybody gets to follow. So it's an extremely community-centered type of class.
Is this the
Right.
kind of dance you do with the drum circle?
You could do it with a drum circle. Absolutely.
Oh, awesome.
And it's more. It lends itself more to all body types.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
the costuming is a little bit more covered. A lot of belly dance.
What is the
costuming
costume?
Well, we wear a shirt. It's like a half shirt. that
So
we call a
sometimes you're
choli.
not wearing shirts. You're
No,
just
all the
No.
time
topless.
we're wearing shirts.
Okay.
All the time.
No boobs are showing, Josh.
Okay. It's not that sacred.
Well, but right.
Wow, maybe.
Well, we'll see.
Nothing is out of the realm of possibility.
Right. Okay.
So we wear shirts instead of just the sparkly bra tops that a lot of the belly dancers wear.
I
Which
see.
again, nothing wrong with that. That's
Right.
just not
Yeah,
what
if
we
you
do.
want to wear a bra, you wear a bra. Whatever you do.
Exactly. And we wear humongous 25-yard tiered skirts.
Oh, okay.
And we wear pantaloons underneath them.
Which the skirts
Pantaloons.
make the hips look so pretty. I actually like
Yes.
the actual style of the outfit. It like really shows off the curves for any, like you said, any body type, so you can still feel beautiful as a woman, regardless of if you're in your perfect body state. Because I think everybody feels like they're a work in progress.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just makes women feel a little bit more comfortable to have
Yeah.
a little bit more clothing on.
Yeah.
And still it accentuates their curves
Yeah.
in just the right way.
So is it all women?
It is all women.
It's only women.
Yeah,
No men.
actually our yoga classes, we do offer co-ed
I
because
see.
we don't want to be like completely exclusionary.
Sure.
But you just got to come in understanding if you're a guy that like this is a
It's a safe
women's place.
space.
Yeah.
It's a safe space where they can feel beautiful and dance and not have to worry about what somebody's looking at them.
yeah,
or
exactly.
what somebody thinks. Women are,
Right.
I've heard this from women, but they like, so at one of our clubs that we exercise at, there's
Yeah.
like this fishbowl thing where there's glass. And so everybody
know.
in the gym can look in and like, it's always women in these classes, and so
And
some
me.
people are. Oh, and you, Josh.
So it's a whole bunch of women and me. I'm in the yoga classes.
He comes with it because he's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think I've heard a lot of women won't go to those classes because they feel like they're on display and they're uncomfortable.
Yeah. I think they do it more to draw people to the class.
I'm sure they're doing it for that reason. But
So
if
they
you
know what's going
understand
on.
women, a lot of us have body image issues, and it makes it more
So human.
uncomfortable for us. So what
Yeah.
do you do with that? Like, are there ways that you help people with their body image?
Yes, absolutely. Well, a couple of our class, like the one other class I teach is called FFM.
Okay.
Fluid Feminine Movement is what it stands for. And it's kind of like a sexy Pilates class. And that one is done almost completely in the dark.
Is that the one that I went to?
Yes, it
I
is.
loved this class.
Yeah, and there's no mirrors. In most of our classes, there aren't any mirrors. The belly dance there is because you want to see if you're doing, if your body's doing what you're
Right.
asking it to. But like in the Fluid Feminine Movement class, the Koya class, the yoga class, there's no mirrors. So we want women to focus, and we say it all throughout class, focus on how it feels, not on how it looks.
Oh, wow.
You want to focus on making your body feel good. And I even do say that in my belly dance class because it's like, you know, I tell women all the time, this is not ballet, this is belly dance.
Right.
So ballerinas are picked for their particular body type.
Very petite.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
thin.
Very thin, very petite. And again, there's nothing wrong with that.
Sure.
But belly dance, you know, is open to all types of women. And so everybody's movement is going to look different. Everybody's going to look different doing it. And everybody's movement and body is valid and beautiful. So
awesome.
we at the studio really just hammer it home at
Great.
every opportunity.
I wanted to point out, like when I was in the class, one of the things that you did that really were good for my body image was like find your favorite curve and look at that while you're in this movement. And I was like, that's so smart because I think women sometimes, you know, like, all right, I think in middle school we start to get curves and we didn't have them before. Suddenly you're like, oh my God, you're so insecure and you're uncomfortable having the curves, but like, that's normal. That's beautiful. That is what a woman is supposed to look like. And so I loved statements like that, like find your favorite curve or admire the way your body looks in this position or things like that, because I think women need opportunities to admire their body and recognize that those curves are beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh
pretty
yeah, she
much.
talked about that for like 3 weeks after
I
that.
did.
Did
She totally did.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I did. Totally.
Look at this curve, Josh. It's awesome.
It is awesome.
It is.
And I mean,
It's
when
beautiful.
I'm in the center of that, because that class is taught in a circle, when I'm in the center of that circle during class, I always have this moment of like, this is my job.
Yeah.
This is what I get to do is watch women make these beautiful shapes with their body. It's insane
Yeah.
that I'm like, I get to do this every day.
What's your
awesome.
favorite part of the job?
I would say that that's it. And well, not only that, but watching women's relationship to their body transform. And it's such a slow, gentle, natural process that it just happens like a flower unfolding or something. Week 1 of a belly dance series or something like that, they'll walk in and they're in, you know, sweats and a big t-shirt and, you know, they're like, we're here to work out.
Okay.
I'm not here for the belly dancing. I'm just here to get a workout
Just
kind of a
exercise.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're hiding and
Yes,
uncomfortable.
yes, because they don't want to be like, you know, too out there with it. Next time in a tank top. Next time they're in a tank top and leggings. Next time they're like, can I have one of those sparkly belt things? And they got a flower in their hair.
That's cute.
Next time, you know, and
That's so
so
sweet.
it-
They're taking care of themselves. And
They're
Yes.
accessorizing.
and it
accessories are how we show
Women
that
love
happy.
it.
It really is.
I know.
That's how we show ourselves love. Is
I have one
Yeah.
accessory, wedding ring. That's it.
That's how everybody knows you're taken, Josh.
Yeah. That's my
Exactly.
chain, ball and chain.
That's actually his
what that
ball
is?
and chain.
Yeah.
That's not an accessory.
But I love
That's
my
his
ball
curse.
and chain. Silly lady.
Love you, honey.
Crazy.
But anyhow,
a
yeah, you
go.
see them change and they kind of come out. Do you see them like talking about themselves differently too?
Yeah.
Yes, kind of amongst themselves, and they will come and say to me as well, you know, what a difference that it's making in their life. I had Just amazing conversation with one of my longtime students last night. She brought her granddaughter, which she'd come before to that fluid feminine movement class. She's actually brought her daughter and her granddaughter. So it was amazing to have 3 generations. And cute. She was telling me what a difference that class had made this week for her granddaughter. And it just makes my heart burst because it happens so quickly.
Yeah.
That's what just blows my mind all the time.
They really embrace it right away.
Yeah. It's like, if you will just allow yourself to come in and be embraced by this community and just do the movements, just do it. Even if you're feeling really, uncomfortable or a little bit insecure about it, if you just push the I believe button, as my husband always says, it just naturally
drink the Kool-Aid.
Drink the Kool-Aid. That's
drinking the Kool-Aid, the sacred movement.
Yeah, we are not a cult.
Thank you for putting
disclaimer.
Well,
just so you know.
So anytime somebody says they're not a cult, you generally need to assume they are.
You're free to leave at any time.
Yeah.
That's so true.
That's funny. So what is sacred about the movement? Would you say it has to do with body image, that kind of embracing?
It does. The definition of sacred is like anything that's worthy of devotion. It's one of the definitions of sacred. And, the students who come in that fall in love with what we do, whichever movement style they choose, it is worthy of devotion for them. They feel like really committed to it. And they're there every week. And they love coming. And so, that's kind of what is sacred about it to me or to them. And just I just hold it sacred because to me, it feels like such an important thing. So it doesn't have any religious connotation whatsoever.
Okay. That's cool.
Which is nice because that means it's all inclusive. And I got to say, I've done belly dance in the past, and I feel like it's the only, I know that's not your only class, but like in that class, it's the only time that I've felt like as a more curvy woman, a beautiful person. Because like in a ballerina class or ballet class or even in jazz classes, they're often very thin body types.
Yeah.
And so when you come in as a more curvy woman, you kind of feel like, oh, am I even supposed to be here? Is this okay? But belly dance, I remember they put you in these unique positions and like you really just like you learn to love your hips. I don't know how else to explain
it's about moving the hips. You got to have hips to move them.
Actually, people who are too skinny in a belly dance sometimes struggle with the hippie stuff because you need some hip to like do some of the moves.
I always tell people, if you're thin, you got to work harder. Sorry, that's how it is.
Got to squeeze it out further. It's like, I do have a butt. It's just back here.
So do you have to know how to dance before you come in? Or?
No, not at all. Everything that you need to know, we will teach you.
You got it.
It does help to have a little bit of rhythm for the belly dance classes, but I've also seen people that have no rhythm that do just fine. So everything else, though, you don't even have to have any rhythm. You can just come on in and hang out. Koya is great for that because
Which one is Koya?
It's the like yoga, free dance, sensual movement class. I kind of always describe it as, a deep spiritual transformative class disguised as a sweaty, fun, good time. We laugh a lot. We did the hokey pokey a couple weeks ago.
Wait, you do the hokey pokey?
Yes, we did.
You turn yourself about?
The hokey pokey is sacred.
I hear that's what it's all about.
It is what it's all about if you think about it.
Okay, that's a first. A yoga class with the hokey pokey.
Well, it's about having fun, right?
There's a portion of it that's like free dance and choreographed dance. It's like just the grapevine or something like that. It's nothing, really intense. But that particular week, it was the hokey pokey. And you've never seen 5 women be so serious about having fun with the hokey pokey in your life. And I was like, serious. I love how seriously we're taking having fun right now.
Hokey pokey. The hokey pokey is not to be taken lightly.
No, you really need to be thoughtful of what you're doing there. You have to put a hand in, you have to put a hand out. I think you're supposed to put it in again and shake it all about, something like that.
That's how it goes.
If you don't, I think it gets chopped off.
No, that's bad. I don't know if we have to take it that serious.
Bad touch, Josh. Bad.
Well, so what got you into this? Like, how did you come to create the Sacred Movement Dance Studio?
It's a long story, so I'll try to give you the Cliff Notes version. I took a yoga class when I was newly married. So this is 17 years ago. And I had been a dancer my whole life. So I was looking for something to do with movement because as soon as high school was over and I was no longer dancing as part of the little dance team that they had, I was so sad. I spent 3 years.
It was a big part of your life. Yeah.
Yeah, because at that point, if you don't go to classes and you're not at a certain level, there's no place for you, right? So I took this yoga class and there was music playing. And we were moving through stuff.
They never do music in my yoga class.
Well, they do. It's all that new agey stuff,
oh yeah, somebody has a windpipe. Yeah. I don't consider that music.
It's more like background music.
Background music.
Yeah, it's not like.
I thought you meant
Jackson,
banjos are playing or.
Yeah. Although I've been to yoga classes with Michael Jackson, and that's kind of amazing.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Not with him, with his music. It's important.
He was there personally, kind of showed up in ghost form.
He was just like, hey.
Hello, everybody.
This is my kind of dance.
Let's all get down, people. Hello, ladies.
Right, exactly. So you got it. It was just like that. It was just like that.
I'm dying here. Okay. So you've done the Michael. So go into your story, what happened next.
Right. So we were moving and I was like, oh my
about?
gosh, it's like dance. And so I found my home, a couple years go by, go through a yoga teacher training. Taught yoga for a while, but it just wasn't really my thing. I think yoga's great. It's valid. It's a perfectly beautiful form of movement. So I went on and started taking belly dance. And I actually did that because at the time my husband was in the military and so he was gone a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, what kind of dance could I do that doesn't require a partner? And belly dance. And also we moved to the Middle East, and so I took a belly dance class or two when I was over there.
Yeah.
So when I got home, I was like, surely there's no belly dance in Pensacola, Florida. And I was so wrong. The belly dance community was pretty huge for being such a small town. So, fell in love with belly dance and, kind of danced a lot because he was gone. So that was kind of my thing.
Yeah.
And then I moved here, and this style I wanted to do, American tribal style, I thought, well, I'll just sink in with, some troupe that's here. And there weren't any. And I waited. And I waited because I was like, somebody's going to do it. This is such great stuff. Somebody's going to know.
Somebody
so
will
I
do
finally was like, okay, it's going to be me.
It's going to be you.
Yeah. I went and got trained to teach it and started teaching it. And it took off like a rocket. I had no idea that it would explode the way that it did. And so at the time I was still teaching yoga, and my husband was like, you're paying so much rent to teach these things, for renting space by the hour.
Oh, you have to rent space by the hour.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
And so he's like, why don't you just open a place?
Yeah.
And then it has slowly morphed into sacred movement.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And now women get to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Feel beautiful.
Feel
they were
beautiful.
always beautiful. Like
And-
I always say that to women. You're beautiful. You don't even know how beautiful you are. And I think at a class like this, they start to realize that I am beautiful and I do have something to be proud of.
And I always, my wish for women is always that they could see themselves and their movement the way that I do.
Yeah.
Which is hard. No matter what your body looks like, whether you're thin or not, as women, we just struggle terribly.
Yeah.
I was writing this blog post about basically this subject yesterday, and I was saying that, women from adolescence, like you were saying, they start to be at war with their body.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that, not that men don't experience it. Of course they do.
Oh, yeah,
to
we
a
do.
certain
They just
level.
do in a different way.
We
In
just
a
do it with
different
anger.
way.
Yeah, they do it with anger. We
Yeah.
do it with holding, shutting down and closing in.
Yeah.
Right. and I think that the level that women experience it at is a little bit higher than men. I mean, I could be wrong though, because I'm not a guy.
Right.
You can't
Yeah.
speak for the population.
I can't speak for the
I
population.
speak for the trees. And they have
gosh,
it too.
I love the Lorax so much. I could just cry right now.
I know, right?
But for women, it's like it's everywhere. Sexy
Yeah.
women are sexy, quote unquote. Women are plastered everywhere, and it's just in front of us
I feel
all
like
the time.
that's part of it. Is like seeing those magazines and seeing all these images that they always they airbrush, so they
Yep.
don't even yes, those are skinny women, but they also like take away some of the things that are making them natural, or they put them in these weird poses that
Right.
like take away any of that little belly pooch that like every woman
Every
has.
woman has.
Oh, yeah.
Every woman
You have
has
to have
a
your
little,
arm
and
over
that's
your head.
not ugly. It's pretty. It's just your little pooch. It's okay. It's like your kangaroo pocket. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
and
where you keep your Joey.
Yeah, your Joey.
Kangaroo. Baby kangaroo, yeah.
That's where I keep all the things.
Yeah. Nature's pocket.
Well, yeah, you can grow a baby there, too.
I know, it is
Crazy.
kind of cool. I mean, like, we're really capable of really awesome things.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so
We
we
can
need
pick
to
stuff
honor our
up.
bodies more.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, guys can pick stuff up and throw it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Big,
true.
strong, you know.
You like that, you-
muscles. But you guys can grow babies. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I'm always just in awe.
I
though, of
always in
men's
awe of
ability
that,
to do
like
that.
of women's ability to create an entire new person. Like we have
Yeah.
a daughter now. It came out of her. I saw it come out. They cut a big hole here and
Yeah, I
yanked
had
it
a
out.
C-section.
Pretty
It's like, oh my
amazing.
God, there's a baby.
Yeah,
But
pretty
once
awesome.
there was not. And
Once
now
there
is.
wasn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
pretty
a
amazing.
special process.
yeah.
So what do you have any other questions, baby?
I think I want to see you guys dance.
Oh,
So,
you want to see us
today
dance?
we're gonna actually
Okay.
have
Think you're
We
open
can do
to
that.
it?
Jennifer and Angela are going to do a little bit of dance. She's going to walk you through it. I'll just take this mic
Okay,
here.
okay. So I'm going to move this out. You won't be able to
Put
hear
that-
me now.
Yeah, but I will be telling you what they're doing.
Oh, okay. You're going to do a play-by-play.
I'm gonna
Now,
get-
here's a question. Do you want us to move this camera at all?
I'm going to move it.
Oh, but you're not going to be able to see it.
I'm
gonna move
it here.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. It's okay. We'll make it work.
I was going to say,
Get my skirt. Oh, wait. Hold on. I have my shorts underneath here, so this is going to be just...
Oh,
no.
there you go.
Oh, no.
Got dancing shorts, so you can show my pretty legs.
Okay, so you can probably hear them a little bit, but they're setting up. She's going to walk them through a couple moves.
Ooh, I love belly. It's so fun. I haven't done enough of it. Isn't it pretty? Yeah.
So, yeah, she put a little-
Show the group, like,
Yeah, look, got a little a coin scarf.
coin scarf.
Makes
That's
it
the
shake.
official name of this ball.
Okay.
Had this for like 10 years.
So go ahead. What are we
Okay,
doing?
So what are we gonna do?
So first we're going to do what's called a taksim.
Okay.
And it is a movement with our hips. So belly dance is all about isolating your movement. So
Right.
you're only moving one part of your body at a time.
You only move one part of your body at a time.
Yes.
Got it.
So the taksim is a vertical figure eight with your hips. So it's like you're walking in place and just making your hip movements a little bit more exaggerated, like you're walking sassy down the aisle of a grocery store or something like that. Yeah, you can use this.
sassy.
You can use this in Walmart. It's good. It makes everybody else in Walmart want to go back to Walmart more often.
Not those bad Walmart pictures. You're supposed to be commentary, babe.
Well, she's talking. I'm not going to interrupt her.
Oh, can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, you can hear you through there.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
So there's a movement with our hips. As we were saying, like feminine movement is all about moving into the curves of a woman's body, right?
Okay.
So we always push into the hips. We can also do hip circles. So you're going to take your hips to the front and to the right and to the back and to the left. And you can make your hip circles as big or as small as you want, but it's using the curves of your body and pushing into the curves of your
Where
body.
should my hands be?
You can make
She doesn't
your
know what to
hands
do with
go
her hands.
I never know what to
anywhere
do.
you
So I just put my
want
hands
to.
over my head when I don't know what
Josh
to do with my hands. That's it. I
Right?
just straight up in the air.
Right? Well, and we're kind of all about taking up space as well.
Mm-hmm.
So taking up as much space as you want, because we
So
feel
like
like, yes,
this.
exactly.
So yeah, Angela just pushed her
Exactly.
over, which
Women
is
Knock you over?
bad
Women
touch,
have a
Angela.
tendency to shrink themselves down, right?
Bad touch.
Yeah, well, she said take a movement, so I had to move her away.
I can go over here. if you
Yeah.
No,
want
you really don't have to. I'm just messing with you.
So women are kind of programmed to shrink. And
Oh, I
not-
know.
Yes,
like
Yeah.
this
right?
is what we. This is even how we
Cover.
sit. I saw a thing about this. Like people sit like this, even when they're like in the waiting rooms, and it's like making us less confident. It's crazy.
Yes, exactly. So what happens is we encourage women to actually take up the space around them, and
Yeah.
we encourage everybody
Don't
to
cross yourself, yeah.
lift,
Lift your
lift
boobs
and
up.
have this kind of posture, because this is what's going to make your confidence go
Yeah.
up.
It does.
It's the
Right.
Superman pose
Yeah,
kind
we
of thing,
call it a power
or
pose
Superwoman.
in psychology.
you know?
It's the power pose, the Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Wonder
this,
Woman,
the
that's
power
what it
pose.
is.
They say
Yeah.
when you're feeling insecure, Stand like Wonder
Put your
Woman
hands
for
on
5
your
minutes,
hips.
You'll feel better already.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Also, if you have the bracers that she wears,
Oh yeah, I
and
need
the invisible
bracers. That
plane,
helps. The leotard.
that helps a lot.
that helps.
Was it a
Magical
leotard or a
lasso.
unitard?
Was it is it a leotard or a unitard?
Either
that
way.
Wonder Woman wear. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to look it up.
I'm gonna say leotard because doesn't a unitard like snap underneath, or doesn't it go all the way?
Thought that's a
down?
onesie.
That's like a onesie.
It is a onesie.
All right,
Onesie
continue.
for grown-ups.
What's another one? Show me
So
another.
movements with your chest, same thing. So we
Oh,
do
yeah.
something called a body wave, and you start by taking your chest and bringing it forward, and then coming back and down.
Oh.
So you're undulating down your body. Yep, exactly. And you can go either direction. You can go up to down, or you can switch it and go down and push up, which, you know, everybody's got one that feels more natural to
Yeah.
them. You know, so if one doesn't work for you, you can try the other one out as well. And what else? Chest circles.
Chest
So
circles.
You do the
I
same
got 2 of
thing
those.
as we did with our hips.
I have 2.
We do the same thing that we did with our hips with our chest. So you take your chest to the left and forward and to the right and back.
That's
You
cool.
just make the movement as big or as small feels good for you.
Mm-hmm.
But as you start to loosen things up, you might find that you need to make it bigger.
Yeah.
And we always talk about coordinating the movement with the breath so that it feels more natural. I'm not doing that now because I'm talking. But we would
Sure.
inhale as your chest opens up, exhale as it comes back.
What do you do with your hands again? I never know what to do with this.
Anything that you want to. Anything that you want to. Whatever feels natural to you.
It makes my boobs feel pretty.
Yes.
Like, I feel these are really pretty and standing out.
Yes.
Sure.
Exactly.
As they always
As
do.
they do. I can sit
You're just
there-
now noticing it.
I noticed, like, wow, those stick out
Wow.
far. Woo!
As soon as I open my chest, it's like, hello.
Well, it actually feels really good in the back, too, I noticed.
Yeah.
Like, I feel
You're
like
getting
it's
full
stretching that
movement,
whole
yeah.
area. It's
Most of the
nice.
time, we're kind of just sitting rigidly.
Yeah, tight.
Yeah,
That's it, yeah.
It's really good for gaining flexibility,
Mm-hmm.
gaining coordination, gaining strength without like sweating it out at the gym and like lifting weights. You'll still get all those benefits because you're really focusing
Yeah.
on moving in a particular way and moving more slowly. But it's just
You probably
it's
won't
more
hurt
gentle.
yourself as much
Yeah, it's
either
more
because
gentle
heavy
on the
weights,
body.
you'll just pull your back.
But
down,
I do
hurt
promise you,
things.
you will feel it the next day.
Oh, yeah.
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 you go
But
to,
it's a
like-
good feeling.
So like
Of-
comb your hair and be like, oh,
Like, oh, yeah.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like,
I
Ow,
feel
I
that.
used that muscle.
Like you've been worked out.
yeah,
Definitely.
exactly.
That's
All
awesome.
right, cool. Any others, or is that good?
You got any
for
others?
now?
You guys want to come back?
Oh,
over?
we can do arm
Okay.
undulations.
Arm
Oh, okay,
undulate.
arms.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's a
God, we
lot
can
of
do-
undulating I've
lot of
A
noticed.
lot of
Undulating.
undulating.
Is that a big
So
part of
arm
it?
undulations, you lift your one arm and then you switch and lift the other arm as the,
Yeah.
as the first one comes down. Yep, and you just undulate from side to side, almost like you're rolling a marble from one
Yeah.
side of your arms to the other. And again, it's just to kind of create a pretty shape with your body.
So it's kind of like you're waving to somebody over there, and then you're waving to somebody
yeah,
over there.
exactly. Like,
It's
hey,
like
over
you
here.
want to be friends with
Hey
everybody.
there, over there. Yep. And really, once you start working the shoulders and the posture in class,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you start to like really feel like you've built up some muscle and some strength in your
Yeah.
upper body, which, as we were just saying, women really need.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
you need
we're
the
just
upper body
not as
strength.
naturally strong as
Yeah.
men.
Yep.
So anything.
So
that
you can lift that car.
But you can be.
I could try.
You probably could. Yeah.
Are you going to?
All right.
Thank you so much for
That's
guys.
awesome.
Through.
Thank
I'll
you.
take this
Yay.
off. No, don't have a live audience. As far as studio audience. Okay.
studio audience has left.
Left the
There's
building.
too much dancing.
There's too
Oh,
much
can you
dancing.
move the camera, Angela?
Oh yeah, sure.
Point it at
Where
us.
do I need to move it?
Put it
Let's
back.
Put it back here.
There,
All
there.
right, so that everybody kind
That'll
of
work.
sees. Good.
Perfect.
All right,
Hi.
so back.
And we're back.
And we're back. So tell us, you want to put a plug in for your studio, like where it is, and like things
Sure.
that are important.
So sacred movement.
Sacred Movement, and it's in St. Charles.
Really close, by the way.
Yeah, it's super easy to get to for like everybody in the area, which is kind of why we chose
Because you're
the
right by
location.
70.
Yeah,
you know?
it's right off of 70 in the Three Flags Business Center, which
Mm-hmm.
everybody knows the Three Flags by the stained glass that they have on there and the big green clock tower.
Yeah.
And actually, everybody really knows it by saying there's a subway.
There's
in
a
there.
subway. It's
Yeah.
the subway off Fifth Street.
It's
Yep.
the subway off Fifth Street and
Yep.
Ameristar Boulevard.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, yeah, everybody knows where
Everybody
that
knows
is.
where that is.
So if they
Yeah.
want to join, how do they get in contact with you?
Like, How much are the classes?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, two questions.
We have a couple of different options. You can pay drop-in, what we call drop-in, which is a single class, which is $15, or you can buy a class pass, which is like 6 classes, and it's $75, so they end up being 12 a piece.
Yeah.
Or like the best deal going, especially for new students, is we have an entire month of classes for $40.
Oh, cool.
You can take
like any of them. In
Yep.
the entire
Unlimited
month.
for 40.
You can take
that's
unlimited
cool.
classes for $40. Well, of course, if you're a new student to belly dance, you can't take like level 3, 4, and 5 of belly dance, but you could take any level 1. You can take FFM. You can take Koya, yoga, whatever you want.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what was the other question?
If they want to reach you, where should they go?
Oh, our
You have a
website is
Yeah.
the best way, which is www.sacredmovementstudio.com.
SacredMovementStudio.com.
And then, of course, if you need therapy, visit me at www.therapistinstlouis.com.
And this has been the About Sex podcast. And please go on to iTunes and give us a review. We love to have those.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
and
you for joining
have
us.
a good night.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
This
thank
is
you for
great.
being here. It
Cool.
was really fun. Nice to meet you.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye, live streamers. Stop.